Chris simply vanished. And when I say vanished, I need y'all to listen to me. Chris simply vanished. Chris simply vanished.
The morning of the 25th of January 2002 started like any other for 20-year-old surveyor Christopher Thompkins. Saying goodbye to his mother, he left home for work at 8:10, just like he would on every other day. He met his 3 colleagues, and together, the 4-man surveyor team began what was a typical day, surveying through a lightly wooded area near County Line Road, close to Highway 85 in Ellerslie, Georgia, USA. The team moved in a fixed line formation, with each man distanced roughly 50 feet apart, with one in front of the other. They were aligned this way as they walked in the same direction through the area. Christopher was at the back, but was easily within eyesight of the man in front of him, and was in regular communication with his colleagues. And here is where the normal day turned into a mystery. One moment, the surveyor in front of him was talking to Christopher, and just a few seconds later, he looked back to find that he was no longer there. Confused and probably slightly shocked, the surveyor alerted the others and explained what had just happened, and together they searched the area. It didn't make any sense to them. There was nowhere he could have gone to without being seen. Just a short distance away, they soon found one of Christopher's work boots. Strangely, just hanging from a barbed wire fence, with no other sign of his other boot. In very close proximity to the boot, they also found some of his work tools, blue fabric from his work clothes, and 12 cents, which is believed to belong to him since it looked clean and freshly fallen. And it seems that was all that was left of him. The other surveyors kept up the search, but stopped at around 1 p.m, roughly 4 hours after Christopher disappeared. This is when they decided to call their boss to let him know that Christopher was missing, but his mother was not told until 4:15 p.m. After 24 hours, a missing persons report was filed, and the authorities began their search, but no further clues were uncovered. Shortly after the initial search, a more intense investigation of the area involving dogs was launched, but still, nothing was found. Weirdly, months later, Christopher's other boot was found on a private property 900 yards from where Christopher had originally gone missing. If the events took place exactly as the other surveyors say, it's as if Christopher practically went missing in the blink of an eye, leaving behind only a boot, some loose change, and a few tools. But how on earth is that even possible? Where could he have gone? Why were there no other signs of him anywhere? The dogs didn't even pick up his scent. The disappearance is as much of a mystery today as it was in 2002. Naturally, foul play was one of the first theories. Why had his colleagues not reported the disappearance sooner? Especially since the circumstances were so strange. The hours in between his disappearance and them reporting it were more than enough time for them to dispose of him, along with any evidence, and then for them to come up with an explanation. But if this was true, why would they come up with such a strange, almost paranormal story? There was also no clear motive for them to harm him. No evidence of foul play was ever discovered either, but none of the other surveyors were ever seriously considered a suspect, and therefore were never interrogated or investigated further. Some believe they need to be questioned again. Another theory suggests that Christopher had just walked away and started a new life somewhere. But why would anyone do this in such a bizarre manner, leaving behind a single boot and a small pile of pocket change? Surely the best way to run away would to have been not to turn up to work at all. Calling in sick, perhaps. However, this theory was still backed by his bosses, who said that Christopher had been acting strangely in the days leading to his disappearance. His mother strongly denied that there was anything wrong with her son. In an interview with the Ledger Enquirer, she said, "Chris lived with me and I saw him every day. There was neither strange behaviour on his part, nor any distress." Christopher's friends and family all described him as well-adjusted and happy. His colleagues added that he was a respectable, hard-working young man, so his disappearance is very out of character. Another theory put forward was the possibility that he might have been attacked by a wild animal, but this idea was quickly dismissed since there would have clearly been evidence to support such an attack. Also, how could this possibly happen so quickly and within eyesight of his colleagues, without any of them knowing? One paranormal theory was the suggestion that some mysterious and very powerful force had picked him up and taken him away, with his belongings being dropped and caught on the fence as he was carried off. Another was that he had stepped into some kind of vortex or time slip, but then how did his belongings end up where they did? With every possible theory, from the bizarre to the logical, there is immediately a detail that contradicts it, and that's one of the saddest things about the disappearance of Chris Thompkins. There is absolutely no sense of closure, and that will continue to haunt all those that knew him.